E numai vina ta!
Sfârșit.
Urmează Cetățeanul Kane.
We are now in the gentrified neighborhood of Fort Greene, Brooklyn. I grew up across the street from this park, Fort Greene Park, before it was gentrified. In fact, my late mother had the vision to buy our brownstone in 1968 for $45,000. This is when no one wanted to come into, no white people at least wanted to come into Fort Greene. And so our house is directly facing this park. And so I grew up here. In fact, we were living in Cobble Hill. We were the first black family moving to Cobble Hill. We were renting, but my mother said we should own the house. We brought the brownstone here. So played hardball here, softball, basketball. Growing up, when it would snow, we would take the top of the garbage cans, go down the hill, then go off the wall. And for my first film, She's Gotta Have It, there's a color sequence. It takes place right here at the top of the park. Right behind us is a monument. And there's a scene in Crooklyn, which is semi-autobiographical, when the kids are going up the steps. And we've shot some other scenes here, and the 40 Acres off has always been in Fort Greene too, so I thought it was a good place for us to be here. But Brooklyn's always been a magical place. I mean, a lot of great people come here. Woody Allen, Barbra Streisand, Lena Horne, Biggie, Jay-Z, Bernard and Albert King. In fact, I want to tell you, there's through the trees is a hospital. This is right here is Myrtle Avenue, and Myrtle Avenue connects with North Oxford. There's a hospital there called Cumberland Hospital in Fort Greene. You know who's born at the hospital? Bernard King, Albert King, basketball giants, Mike Tyson, and Michael Jordan. All born in that hospital right here in Brooklyn, Fort Greene, Brooklyn. So that tells you something, right? Something about Fort Greene in itself. There's something that you get on the streets of New York City that can't be duplicated on a set, can't be duplicated in Toronto when I used to just do that a lot. Used to shoot, try to fake Toronto like New York. It's fake. Even the extras is bogus. So this is the world's greatest set. Now, of course, there are hassles, but you gotta work with it. You know, people don't want to be mess with their routine. But you get through that because this is the world's greatest set. I remember, you know, the Naked City thing, the 8 million stores in New York City. And this is one of them. That's true. That is true. And that is why a lot of not all of them, that is why a lot of my films have been shot here in New York City. I went to New York University Graduate Film School from 1979 to 1982. I also had a job at this independent film distribution company called First Run Features. We had a whole lot of filmmakers. So everybody that was at the vanguard of independent cinema at that time in New York City was distributing their films through First Run Features. I got to meet a lot of people there. And a very important person, John Pearson, who was programming the Bleecker Street Cinema. Very important. Their office and First Run Features office was on the same floor. So I became friends with John, and John was he was the film rep for She's Gotta Have It. Jim Jarmusch was 2 years ahead of me at NYU, and I always try to give love to Jim because he's very important to film students at NYU. Because when you're in film school, you know, you're reading or you're looking at films of all the greats, but you don't know those people. You don't know those people. A lot of them are dead. And I worked in the equipment room for 3 years, so I checked equipment out. I mean, I saw Jim. Jim's very distinctive look. You know, he had white hair back then. That's not just something that's happened now. And so when someone you went to film school with, even though he's not in your class, and you could open up the Village Voice, say a full-page ad, and see what he did, taking his film to Cannes. I mean, everything Jim did, we just tried to follow the path. You know, when She's Gonna Have It, I tried to do everything Jim did with Strange in Paradise. So he was very important because Jim Jarmusch made it seem like it was possible, you know, with his success. I think that, number one, New Yorkers are very arrogant. And I present company included. I remember, you know, I went to school down south in Morehouse, so they used to hate us because all us New Yorkers, we were like, you country ass don't know shit. You know, we had the clothes, we had the dances, we just knew we were hipping these people, hipper. And I mean, there's also a famous New Yorker cover, the map, you know, has New York City, then the Hudson, like, that's where we feel. And a lot of times, it could be to our detriment when we think everything revolves around New York City, or making bigger, even think that everything revolves around America. It's not like that anymore. You know, so we've got to try to be more just big in how we see things.